had to come up with an angle or some kind of approach that would be very radical and creative, but then at the same time kind of traditional, and something that people would be able to universally relate to.
It wasn't like a musical thing. It wasn't like a fucking entertainment thing. It was like we figured out these riffs, we had this message, and we just had to drop this shit.
Brains were the band that everybody feared to play with, because you know you're going to get your ass blown off stage.
They were tight and powerful and committed and exhibiting an incredible involving emotional vibe while playing as technically challenging as you can imagine. I mean, stop on a dime, starts and stops, and extreme precision, locking up of rhythm, and just innovative melodies and chord patterns, and overall HR, the maniac vocalist, dancing across the stage and screaming and whooping and hollering and just slinging his soul out into the microphone.
As a teenager, I was into acrobats. When I went on the stage, the intensity of the music would sometimes be so immense and so energetic that I would feel like jumping into the audience or doing some kind of flips in the air, something like that, you know, and that's where it came from. Just a feeling of exuberation of Jubilee, you know.
It really was inspiring. It made me realize, like, take it seriously. Like, don't just be satisfied with some shit. Push it.
They would come to our shows, and they were very young, about 13, 14, 15 years old, and they wanted to start a group called Teen Idols. They were very enthusiastic, but couldn't perfect the instruments.
You know, I was nervous because I was playing in front of the Bad Brains, and I was having a hard time. I was thinking, like, well, it's shitty bass, you know, bad amp, you know, bad equipment. But then when I handed this shit to Daryl, man, it was not the bass, it was not the amp, it was definitely the player.
I was able to come up with some really great plans for these undergraduates, is what I'd call them, or students or interns. And their interest was immense. I referred them to the Bible and also this great book by an individual named Napoleon Hill. It's called Think and Grow Rich.
The Think and Grow Rich concept was just a positive influence, and that was the catalyst to just make us find God still, you know.
So it wasn't quite L. Ron Hubbard, but it was concepts of power of positive thinking.
We don't care what you say, we don't care what you do. We got our attitude. Don't care what you may know. Don't care. Can't touch us.
You got that PMA, you got that PMA, like how we used to say, you know, like, hey, we got that attitude, we got that attitude. That was like a song that really like said that, you know, we're here on some punk rock shit.
It's a self-loathing town. It's a transient town. If you're of here, if you're from here, if you're of here, you hold on tight. You got to. Because the currents are just whipping on past. Every 4 years, another president, some other jackass comes through.
Who were your parents when you're living in Washington in 1980 and you're a teenager? Why are your parents here? What do they do? Well, there's a good chance that they are involved with the current administration, or perhaps they're involved with one of the major colleges here, or they're involved in the news media in some way.
My father is a United States Senator. He's the senator from the state of Hawaii.
Georgetown Day School is a private school. It was a hippie school. You didn't have to wear shoes. You could bring your dog to school. You called your teachers by their first names. I happened to be at the right school at the right time, and that's how I got into Minor Threat. Our first show is going to be at a party at 1929 Calvert Street, and we're going to open for the Bad Brains, who I've never seen play, who are the biggest thing in the world.